Let me ask you something. How much protein did you eat today? Maybe you tracked it. Maybe you know the number. A lot of women on the GLP-1 are working really hard to reach that protein goal every day. And I think that's great. I really do. But here's something most people don't know. Your body cannot use all of that protein at once. It doesn't matter if you eat 30 grams or 80 grams in one sitting. Your muscles can only take in so much at a time. The rest gets used for other things, or it gets wasted. Today, I want to explain why and what to do about it. Welcome to Off Label with Fallon G, the NP. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. I'm Fallon, a dual board certified nurse practitioner. I am a VSG patient. I am on my own personal journey with the medication Mounjaro. And I'm smack dab in the middle of perimenopause. The content of this video is for educational purposes only. It does not constitute medical advice. I am not your provider. Please speak with your provider before you make any changes to your medications, your medical plan, or your exercise routine. Here's the way I explain this to my patients. Think of your muscles as a bucket. Every time you eat protein, you're pouring water into the bucket. But the bucket has a hole on the bottom, and after a few hours, the water starts to drain out. The goal is to fill the bucket as many times as possible during the day. Now here's what most people do. They skip breakfast. They have a light lunch, and then they eat a huge dinner and try to get all their protein in at once, maybe 60 or 70 grams in one meal. This is like pouring all of the water into the bucket at the same time. The bucket fills up fast, the rest overflows onto the floor, and you've wasted most of it. Your muscles can only hold about 25 to 40 grams of protein at one time. Everything above that doesn't go to your muscles. It goes elsewhere or gets lost. Filling the bucket once with 80 grams gives you one full bucket. Filling it 3 times with 30 grams gives you 3 full buckets. That is 3 times the muscle signal in one day. The clinical term for this is called muscle protein synthesis, which is basically just a process your body uses to build and repair muscle. To trigger it properly, your body needs a specific amino acid called leucine. Leucine acts like a key that unlocks the muscle building process. You need about 2 to 3 grams of leucine to turn that key. And to get that much leucine, you need roughly 25 to 40 grams of complete protein in each meal. Below that threshold, the door doesn't open. Above the threshold, the door opens, but the extra protein doesn't build more muscle. The key only works once per meal. Here's another way to think about it. Your muscles have an on and off switch. Protein turns it on, your muscles start building. But the switch does not stay on forever. After about 90 minutes to 2 hours, it turns back off again, even if you're still digesting that same meal, even if the protein is still sitting in your belly. The switch can only be turned on again at the next meal. So if you eat breakfast at 8 a.m., lunch at noon, and then dinner at 6, you basically turn that switch on 3 times for the day. 3 windows of time in the day where your muscles can actively build. If you skip breakfast and eat one big meal at night, you only turn that on once. 1 window, 1 chance to build and repair that muscle. On a GLP-1, when you're not very hungry, this matters even more because every meal you eat is precious. You're eating less overall, so you need every bite to count. Studies show that spreading your protein across 3 to 4 meals with at least 25 grams at each meal builds significantly more muscle than eating the same total amount in 1 or 2 sittings. For women in midlife, this effect is even stronger because of the phenomenon called anabolic resistance. Anabolic resistance is basically where the muscles become less responsive to protein signals after the age of 40. So women in midlife need both more protein and more frequent protein signals to get the same muscle building power as younger women. So what does 25 to 30 grams of protein actually look like on a plate? Let me show you some examples because this is where a lot of people are surprised. Not all protein foods are created equal. Some hit the threshold easily, some require a lot of food to get there, and when you're on a GLP-1 and not very hungry, you need the most amount of protein and the smallest amount of food. So let's go through some foods. Greek yogurt. 1 cup of Greek yogurt can range about 17 to 20 grams of protein. Does it hit the 25 gram threshold? No, but almost. You know what you can do to make it hit that threshold? Add an egg, a boiled egg to it. Boom, a fried egg to it, whatever it is you want to eat. Maybe make it a breakfast. A cup of Greek yogurt, some berries, and a fried egg. Now you've hit your protein goal for that morning. Chicken breast, a cooked chicken breast. About 3.5 ounces of chicken breast is about 31 grams of protein. You already hit the threshold for 1 meal just by adding chicken to anything, a salad, just eating it by itself, adding it, having it as your protein or your main source of protein for dinner. You've already hit that threshold just with that one food. Eggs. 3 large eggs has about 18 grams of protein. You've almost hit that threshold, but like I said before, add that to your breakfast. Have it with some Greek yogurt. If you're going to have it for lunch, have it as paired with some ham or bacon. Sometimes I'll tell you what I do. I will have 4 or 5 ounces of steak, and I will eat boiled eggs with it for dinner. And I know I've hit my goal. I just enjoy eating that. I enjoy how it tastes, and sometimes it's easy to grab, and I know that I can reach that goal for the day. Another good one is cottage cheese. I know not everybody likes cottage cheese. I actually like cottage cheese. I eat a cottage cheese bowl with fruit and yogurt and stuff every evening, every single night without fail. But I know people do not like the taste of or the texture of cottage cheese, but you can blend it and make it really smooth, almost like a yogurt texture. So any way that you can get it in, try to use cottage cheese if you don't have a dairy allergy or anything like that. Cottage cheese is a powerhouse because 1 cup is 25 grams of protein. Boom, you can add that to anything, and now you've reached your protein goals. And let's not forget the protein shake, whey protein. The animal protein has the highest protein content. Okay, so you want to use whey protein, and right there you can get 24 to 30 grams of protein just having a protein shake. This is great to have on days when you have a very low appetite. Do not count out protein shakes. Look for a protein that has a protein powder or a protein shake that has good ingredients, that's pretty healthy, or something you can tolerate. Make your own protein shakes. If you just want to know exactly what's in it, that's fine too. But always keep a little protein shake or protein powder on hand because this is great for those low appetite days. And then canned tuna in water. 33 grams of protein for a can of tuna. That, you have hit it for lunch. Like, think about that. It doesn't take much to get down. You can make a nice tuna salad and then have that. And there you go. 4 ounces of salmon. 29 grams of protein in 1 serving. You're hitting your goal right there. So if you add anything extra to it, you're golden. Now there are some other foods that have protein in them, but not enough to really reach that threshold. But they're still good to add. So these are things like black beans, almonds, or string cheese, for instance. But they have about range from 6 to 17 grams of protein in those, okay? So you want to pair that with another source, not use it as your primary source. You can pair it with things like Greek yogurt or chicken and the black beans, or having a couple of handfuls of almonds with your sandwich or your snack or your tuna salad or something like that you're having for lunch. Here's what I want you to notice. The foods that hit that 25 grams of protein minimum are all animal protein. Chicken, tuna, salmon, cottage cheese. They are dense in protein, and you do not have to eat a lot of them to get what it is you need. Plant proteins like beans and nuts have protein, but you would have to eat a lot of them to get 25 grams just from using that protein alone. On the GLP-1, when our appetites are low, dense protein sources are our best friends. And this is why I also recommend pairing foods. Greek yogurt plus 2 eggs for breakfast. That gets you about 30 grams of protein. You didn't have to eat much, your threshold is hit, and the switch is turned on. Now let me connect this directly to where you are. You are on a GLP-1 medication. That means your appetite is lower than it used to be. You're eating less food overall, which is normal and is part of how this medication is supposed to work. But here is the risk. Less food means less protein. And less protein spread across fewer meals means fewer muscle building opportunities every day. It's important that we keep the muscle going because muscle is our metabolism. It is what protects our bones from osteoporosis. It is what helps us move through life with energy. On top of that, if you're in perimenopause or menopause, your muscles are already harder to build. Way harder than they used to be because of that anabolic resistance. This means that your body needs a stronger signal to get the process started. That means you need more protein per meal, and you need it spread across multiple times a day. Let me tell you what it looked like for me when trying to hit these goals on my journey. When I first started the Mounjaro, I wasn't hungry at all. The food noise completely went away. It did not turn down, it completely shut off. And so my desire to want to eat and asking myself, what do I feel like eating, was completely gone. I had no appetite whatsoever. Having a cup of coffee was plenty to last me for hours, or not eating at all and waiting until my stomach was growling, right, to really want to eat something. I was maybe eating 800 to 900 calories a day the first couple of days without even trying, without even having, remember, I didn't have food noise, so without even putting any effort towards not eating, it was happening. But I was eating very little protein. And medically, scientifically, I knew that this could not be sustained and that I would end up losing muscle. Luckily, my provider is a bariatric surgeon as well as a specialist with the GLP-1s. And so the number one thing that she told me was build muscle, resistance train, eat your protein. My nutritionist, who's also, they are in the same office, same visit with her, eat your protein. This is how you can get it in. So we looked at that. We mapped out what I needed, figured out what I needed, and that is how I stuck to it. I have created a plan for me that makes it simple. I am busy. I'm a mom. I own a practice. I am going. And so I have to be able to pull things out that are simple and easy, and I don't have to think about it. If I have to think about it too long, it ain't going to happen, right? It falls through the cracks. And so I have to be very intentional about my protein intake. Intentional protein intake is the work that we have to do alongside the medication. This is building those good habits that I talked about before. The medication is not going to do this part for you. So what do I do and what can you do with all of this? I'm going to give you 3 simple rules, and I want you to write them down. Rule number 1, hit 25 grams of protein per meal. Not grams per day, but per meal. At least 25. This is your minimum target for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Use the free table below that I'm going to leave in the description to learn how to build small meals and small snack options. I'm going to leave that in the description for you if you want it. It is going to be a free download for you. This is going to help you hit that number without requiring you to eat a huge amount of food. Rule number 2, do not skip breakfast. Breakfast is your first chance to turn on that switch. If you skip it, you've lost an entire window, a whole bucket that you could have filled. Even if you're not hungry, eat something small. Eat a small, high-protein breakfast within an hour of waking up. This could be a protein shake. This could be a couple of boiled eggs. This could be a cup of Greek yogurt and 2 eggs, or a protein shake within a couple of hours of waking up. And in less than 5 minutes, you've hit your 30-gram protein goal. You don't have to cook it. You can prepare boiled eggs or purchase them already boiled and just have them in the fridge ready for you. Plop a cup of Greek yogurt in a bowl, throw some berries on top, boom, you have breakfast. Rule number 3, spread it out. Do not pile it all on. Do not save all of your protein grams for dinner. The goal is 3 separate meals, at least, each with at least 25 grams of protein, spread across the day. This gives you 3 muscle building windows instead of just 1. It's not about eating more food, it's about spacing out the right food so your body can actually use it. And here's a bonus tip. If you're not hungry in the morning, which is very common on a GLP-1, eat protein first before anything else. Even before your coffee, if you can manage it. Or make a profi. Is that what people call it? Profi or profi. Protein coffee. Put the protein powder in your coffee, boom. I've done that as well. Do that often. Eat your protein before any carbohydrate. Protein the first thing in the morning helps set the tone for the rest of the day. Do not eat below 1,200 calories. You need fuel, not just protein. Now calculate what your specific calories should be with your provider, because as your weight changes, your calorie needs change as well. And then don't track just your daily total without looking at each meal. Just because you're getting 100 grams of protein a day, look and make sure that that's spread out across a few meals a day and not just in one lump sum, because you're not getting the full benefit of that amount of protein if you're only turning that switch on once or twice a day. Let's go back to the bucket. Every meal is a chance to fill it. 3 meals a day means 3 full buckets. That's 3 times the signals that your muscle is getting to grow strong and stay strong, even while a GLP-1 medication is reducing your appetite and your body is losing weight. The goal is not just less weight. The goal is less fat, more muscle. And you cannot get there with one big protein meal at night. You get there by filling that bucket breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day, consistently. Save this video and download the food table below in the description. Come back to it when you need a reminder. And I want you to drop a comment below and tell me what your breakfast looks like. I want to know where everyone is starting from every day. And if you want to build a personalized protocol with me that you can take back to your provider and have these discussions and optimize your plan, that is exactly what the Clarity Consult is for. There's also a link in the description below for that if you want to work with me one-on-one. Thank you for watching. Eat your protein. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.